What's up, everyone? So my name is Andrew. I am the owner of Holy Ground, which is a brand new sneaker shop. And I am here and you're here, obviously, because you want to learn the ins and outs of what it means to open up a sneaker shop. So I'm like a week away from opening. I have everything done. Like the last part is just getting inventory done, like making sure I have price tags on everything. So we're pretty much almost there. But there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know about that I had to go through in order to open up a sneaker store. Like for myself, I thought it was very simple. You rent out a space and you sell your stuff. Like that's all there is. And I know that there's tax work and stuff like that, but that's really all I focused on and what I knew. And granted, like I'm a little bit on the older side for some of you guys because I know sneaker shop is a dream for you. Like I just turned 27 in December. So that's not like I still feel like I'm young, and I do think I'm young, but I know a lot of you guys are like 19, 18, even 14, 13, like wanting to open up a sneaker shop. So you might have clicked on this video. And so in this video, I'm going to go through pretty much trying to do it quick, but I want to try and just talk about all the different things that I had to go through and all the different costs of what it really looks like to open up a shop. So we're going to go ahead, break everything down right after this. All right, well, if you guys have made it to this point of the video, you really want to know all the costs and things that are going into it. So let's just go ahead and break them down. And I'm going to kind of use my own experience because that's just what I know. And I think it'll definitely help you guys because I was looking for videos just like this, but could find absolutely nothing. So I thought, hey, why not help the person who wants to open up a shop and really needs to know all the ins and outs because I didn't get that help, so I want to help you guys. One of the first things is you definitely need to find a spot. So finding a retail location is super, super important. And you know, there's a lot of ins and outs for that too, like depending on where do you want your location, do you want it to be in a mall, do you not want it to be in the mall, how much money do you have a month? And typically, I didn't know, but leases for retail spaces are on average between 2 to like 4 years. They try and lock you in, and if you break that contract, say your business doesn't do well after 1 year, you don't want to keep paying rent for the next 3 years, you're going to have to break a contract, and that's going to be a cost to you. So just know that there's a lot of money involved in opening up a shop. So one is you're making a 2 to 5 year commitment on your rent. I mean, maybe like me, I got lucky because of COVID. I got a 1 year lease. So it's super practical for me, and that's why I did this. But for most of you guys, if you guys are doing this in the future, that might not be an option anymore, depending on how, you know, COVID's affecting things. But for me, that's pretty much what it was. And I'm in California. I'm an hour away from LA, so I'm close, but not too close where everything's super expensive. My place is 818 square feet, and I'm paying $1,500 a month, not including electric and Wi-Fi and all these other bills that you're gonna have to pay, which we're gonna go into. So I'm in for $1,500 a month for a whole year. So that means I'm spending a lot of money just opening up a shop already. Like that's what I'm committed to. After you find a space, you're also going to need insurance for the space, and you're also going to want insurance not just for your like product in case someone steals it. Like you're going to want that. So the more you have in your inventory, the more it's going to cost you because it's, you know, more of a liability for the insurance. So you have to get your stuff insured. I mean, you don't have to, it's just a really smart thing to do because if someone does break into your shop, steals all your stuff, and you don't have insurance for it, well, you just lost all of that money. So getting your stuff insured is super important, and also getting liability insurance is almost necessary. I mean, I don't want to say like absolutes here, but in my experience, they requested that I had liability insurance, and the other places I looked at, they also requested the same thing. So in total, that probably is going to cost me somewhere between $750 to $1,000 a year. So it's not too bad. You might pay, you know, a little under $100 a month for that. So just know that that is also an expense that you do have to pay. Other than that, you're also going to need a bunch of other stuff to get your shop going. So you're also going to want Wi-Fi. And so Wi-Fi for businesses, I use Spectrum because that's who we have. And that's costing me $70 a month, which is also not cheap. I also have to pay for electric. So I got a really good deal. For me, I think I got a really good deal. Other than that, that's, you know, the basic things of just having a shop is you need internet, you're going to need a space, and you're going to need insurance for that space, right? And so let's kind of go over like some more legal document work though, because that's also important. So you're going to want to file a DBA or FBN, which is DBA stands for doing business as, and FBN stands for fictitious business name, which pretty much they're the same exact thing. It's saying, hey, this is the title of my business, but I'm not like really going to file for, you can file for an LLC, a C Corp, or S Corp, depending on where you're located. That's just fancy words for, do you want to build a corporation for yourself? And that's really only going to be important if you plan on going in to business with someone else. That pretty much means like there's different tax things that go into it. There's different tax things that really go into it. It could help or hurt you. And it's also so that way if someone wants to sue you because something happened, that they can't go over your personal assets, just the stuff that is within that business. So it's really up to you what you want to do. I am just doing a FBN DBA type of thing for right now, but depending on how the business goes, I might upgrade to a LLC. It's always important for you guys to talk to a CPA about this stuff. Like even if it costs money, like having someone who has a lot of knowledge in this kind of tax work and liability stuff, like it's super, super helpful. I definitely would not be here if it wasn't for, you know, the people that I have as family friends or just friends in general. So that helped me a lot. And doing that costs money, like filing for FBN, DBA, whatever, like it's not that expensive. I think it was like $55 for me. So that wasn't too bad. But after you do that, then you're also going to need to apply for a reseller's permit, seller's permit. I live in California, so I did it through California, and that cost me like $250. So it was like $100 just to do it, but then they say that they charge everyone a zoning fee, which is $150. So I paid $250 just for that. And then after that, then you also have to get a like a seller's permit or business license. Then you need to get a business license for the city that you're going to be working in. So I'm in the city of Upland. I did a business license through them, and that was also like $100 something. So just to get started, I did all these different paperwork things, like the background work, and you know that's already costing me maybe like another $500-600 off the bat. Plus you're paying insurance and rent. So your first month is really big, because also when you, just to throw this in, but when you put your down payment or when you want to rent a spot, they often require a security deposit or first and last month's rent. So you're probably not just paying $1,500. Like for me, I didn't pay $1,500. I had to pay $1,500 plus another $1,500 because that was the agreement. That's how most places work. So just know that the startup of your business is really, really expensive because you're paying for a lot of things ahead of time. After that, you also want to improve your space, right? You're going to need shelving, things to hold inventory. You're also going to want like security stuff, like we have cameras in here. We have an alarm system in here. We installed a security gate in here. So there's a lot of different things. Luckily, the space I had already had the cameras and the equipment for the alarm system. I just had to activate the alarm system, which was, I think we're paying like $35 a month. And that contract, we're locked in for 3 years because that's just the only thing that they offer. They wouldn't offer me anything less. And it was super frustrating. So we could break the contract with them, pay a fee for it, but it is what it is. Like, yeah, there's security things like the security gate. A company who was going to hand make it was going to charge me $2,100. And, you know, I want a steel gate like I do because it's going to prevent people from thinking, oh, I can go and do a quick snag. So I had to get one built, but I didn't do that route. I found a cheaper route where we just made a gate fit, bought it, and did all this other stuff off to the side. It was more work, but it also saved me a couple of thousand. Like, I think it saved me about $1,500 or so, which is a really good deal. So we got that installed. And then all the shelving and stuff that you're going to want to decorate your space with. Like, I know we're mobile now. All right. So just want to show you guys just a little bit. So, I mean, this is going to be our sneaker wall. So all of this, we hand did it. We didn't hire anybody to do it. We picked all the stuff up from Home Depot. We drilled all of these things in right here, and even under it, just to, make it more sturdy, we added little clasps and little like Simpson tools right there. And then to stain it, we painted the wall. Like, we got a display case. We're doing that stuff. We are building you know, more clothing racks and stuff. So there's definitely a lot of stuff. Oh, and then like, so here's the security gate. So we have the security gate over here, motion sensor. We have a curtain rod that we installed, the security system. I mean, if you want a TV, you could put a TV. And granted, my spot is pretty small. Like, I mean, we have a good inventory room. Like, we have shelving and all that stuff. So there's a lot that went into building this place. And I mean, granted, I also have all of this inventory and stuff. So it's not cheap. I mean, even I bought a mini fridge because I want, when I open the shop and I get thirsty, I'm going to be here for 6 hours. Like, I need to drink something. I need to eat something. I need to put something in there. So the thing that this is holding on to, it's like we built 2 desks. Like, things just add up, guys. Like, the desks were $100 each. I'm pretty sure you could try and find cheaper ones, but it really depends on what you're trying to go for also, because for me, I'm the cheaper route. I went the cheaper but nice route. You know, my space is a little bit smaller, but that's okay with me because we do plan on doing a lot of stuff online as well. But I know other people are like, oh, I can't wait to have a store in the mall. I can't wait to have a big old store, like, you know, all of the famous people, like, you know, Urban Necessities, and I don't know if anyone ever says I want to have a shop like Flight Club, but like Round 2, like all these places are kind of like bigger. But now we have smaller ones coming up, like Ham's Kicks, Sneak City, stuff like that. So I mean, it's really cool, but I just wanted to let you guys know everything that goes into it because it's not cheap. Like, those clothing racks, I built them myself and they still cost me about $120 each to make. Now, you can buy them from IKEA and kind of go that route. They do have like kind of nicer ones, but then like it depends on what your aesthetic, like how you want the store to look. That's going to vary in how much money you're going to spend. So like for the build out of the store, you also have to get a sign. Like for me, the building requires that I get a neon sign over so that everyone knows that's where I'm at. Like, that's not cheap. That cost me $1,400. And that was like technically with a discount. I mean, and this is all stuff I don't know. Like, I don't know a sign guy. I don't know like a construction contractor worker who can build stuff. I don't know like all I know is sneakers, you know, like I know that. And then plus after, you have to also get a POS system. So a POS system means point of sale. Like, how are you going to check people out? Are you going to use Clover? Are you going to use Square? Are you going to use, you know, Shopify? Like, they all have different things. I mean, Square is the most notable one, but also every time someone does a transaction, you're going to have to charge them to company. Square charges you like 2.6% per transaction. So you're losing money there. And then plus you also have to like make sure you're getting all your taxes right. So, I mean, for you, it's important to do that. Like, even if you're not opening up a store, like, it's still important for you to do that. File your business name, your DBA or your FBN or whatever it is. You typically have to have it run through a newspaper, which doesn't make any sense to me, honestly, just because like who really reads the newspapers anymore. But I just got a phone call. The guy quoted me $110 to do that, and then they'll send me a certification and all that stuff, which is a little expensive. I have someone else who offered me $75. So that's just another added cost that you're gonna have to do. I mean, there's other things you're gonna wanna do that might not cost you anything. I mean, opening up a business account, that cost me $25 with Wells Fargo, but Wells Fargo's the best. At least that's what my research has told me. So I went with them. And then you're also gonna, you know, depending if you're gonna wanna write people checks, if you're buying shoes or if you're selling shoes or you're consigning shoes, like if you wanna do that, you can go ahead and do that. Like, I mean, if you're doing consignment, it's honestly gonna save you a little bit more money because you can take in more inventory, but that also means you're probably gonna want to increase your insurance policy just because with all the shoes, that's a lot more money. For me, I'm not doing any consignment. We're just doing buy, sell, trade. So I have to pay for all of the inventory that we have. So we probably have about 200 pairs of shoes and decent amount of vintage and Fear of God and Supreme stuff. Like, you know, that all takes into account too of how much you're spending. So like I said, there's a lot that goes into it. And I know that this might not be super, super detailed of like, hey, this is what you do here and this is how you do it. This is how you file for this and this is how you do it. Like, that's not really my intention for this video. It's more of like, hey, I want to put this on your mind and let it know that this is pieces of stuff that opening a business really goes into. Now, I'm not suggesting this, but I know a lot of people will, you know, kind of cheat and go around the corners and stuff of like, well, I could open up a space. I don't have to do a DBA. I don't have to do all this stuff. I'll just handle everything with cash or try and do everything under the table, which Yes, majority of people kind of do it like that, but once you start making enough money and you start not like reporting that on your taxes, and people, and there's like a lot of, you know, transactions going on or a lot more money jumping into your bank account, but you're not paying taxes, there's a small chance, but it's still a possibility that you'll get audited, and then they're gonna, you know, say, hey, you owe us this much money, and you're gonna have to provide tax information and receipts and bank deposits for like the past like 3 to 5 years, and it's just like a big headache. And so it's just smarter to have everything clean, filed, ready to go. So, and paying your taxes right, just being an honest person. Like, it sucks, there's a lot of things that I'm just like, they're taking way too much money from me just to open up a store, but it's the cost of doing business. So me going the smaller route, I would say I probably spent about $40,000 to get to this point, and or maybe even just a little bit more, like 43,000 to, you know, to open up a shop. And that's a lot of money, especially for me. Like, I've been reselling for like a while now, but you know, just upfronting $43,000 is hard. And that, I mean, that's counting inventory, that's counting the build out, that's counting everything I've purchased and the rent, and like, and that's not including future rent. Like, I haven't paid like the other 10 months that I'm gonna be here. Like, I'm not including that in my cost right now. It's just everything I spent right now, like the deposits and all that stuff, probably about $43,000. So it's not cheap, and it's definitely not easy. It's something that you really have to be committed to and be passionate about, and really, because there's times where I got overwhelmed and just wanted to quit. Like, I was just like, this is too much, maybe it's not meant to be. But that's the point, is if you really are passionate about opening up a store, you're gonna make it happen. So I just wanted to let you guys know that the small amounts of ins and outs that there are. And I know it might seem like, oh yeah, just do this, do this, do this. And you can kind of make a checklist. And I would say do that, because it does get overwhelming when you're trying to do everything. With all that said, I hope I didn't, you know, discourage any of you. If anything, I hope I just kind of enlightened you and allowed you to see, okay, if I realistically wanted to open up a shop, this is kind of my goal, or this is what I'm aiming at. Now, granted, if you don't live in California, please know that not everything I say probably pertains to you. Each state is different. Sometimes even each county is going to run things differently. So that's why I'm saying find somebody in your county, in your state, that, you know, has either opened up a business or is like, or knows about business. Like, an accountant might know some more stuff than you do, and that's important for you to know. You know, so knowledge is definitely going to be super helpful. So, you know, that's just kind of my journey, and this is kind of just a small little snippet that I wanted to kind of share and put out there. If you guys want to follow us, it is at Holy Ground Shop on Instagram. Follow us on our journey if you want to. I post different videos like this, or more day in the life stuff. So if you guys are interested, go ahead, click subscribe, leave us a like if this was helpful. Maybe just, even if it made you feel sad, I'm sorry, don't leave a thumbs down, but just, I hope that a reality check is, if anything, going to be more helpful. And for you guys who thought you can open a store now, but you realize you're a little bit farther away, just let this be motivation. I want to motivate you, being like, hey, you can do this, and you could do it in a shorter amount of time, because like, if you put your head down, you know how much it's going to cost, and you have a goal to really reach. And so when you have a goal that you can reach and is obtainable, then go for it, man. Like, don't stop. Like, if you want it, go get it. So with all that being said, I hope that this was informational, and I appreciate you guys for watching, and I just love all the support and what you guys have been doing for me. So I wanted to try and give back with some information that I've been learning on my own journey. So yeah, I wish you all the best of luck, and we'll catch you guys on another video. Peace.